I'm Rita Cosby in for Nancy Grace. Thanks for being with us tonight. Let's go to Scott Wyckoff, reporter with WBAL Radio. Scott, walk us through what happened here. And first of all, the cops arrive on the scene. What do they see?
Well, early on Friday morning, what they saw was a car with the door open in front of this townhouse in suburban Maryland, just outside of D.C., and when they looked down, there was a bloody knife on the ground. So what the police did, they found keys in the car, they immediately went into the house, and when they went in the house, they found blood all over the house, and as you said, the toddler and the baby dead, and a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old badly injured, all stabbed repeatedly.
Two Maryland women have been indicted in the stabbings of 4 children in what authorities say the women believed was an exorcism. 28-year-old Zakieya Avery and 21-year-old Monifa Sanford were indicted Thursday on 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of Avery's 18-month-old son and 2-year-old daughter in January at a home in Germantown, Missouri, outside Washington. They were also indicted on 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder in an attack on Avery's 5-year-old daughter and 8-year-old son. Prosecutors have said the women told investigators they believed evil spirits moved between the bodies of the children and an exorcism was needed to drive the demons out. Police said that if a neighbor had not called 911, the 2 older children might have died. 2, Zakieya Avery and Monifa Sanford were reportedly members of a Germantown-based group called the Demon Assassins. The women believed they were engaging in spiritual warfare when they stabbed 4 of Avery's children, killing the 2 youngest. By Carol Kuruvilla, New York Daily News Thursday, January 23, 2014. Demons and devils are very much alive in one Maryland mom's world. 8-year-old Zakieya Avery told a Montgomery County court that she is the commander of a demon assassin cult whose calling to hunt demons led her to stab and kill her 2 youngest children, Avery and her 21-year-old. Accomplice Monifa Sanford have been charged with first-degree murder for the deaths of 1-year-old Norrell and 2-year-old Zyana. The women also attempted to kill Avery's 2 older children, 5-year-old Taniya and 8-year-old Martello. The Germantown pair told detectives that they witnessed the children's eyes turning black and saw a black cloud hovering over the kids. They then saw demons jumping into Norrell. She tried to snap his neck, Montgomery State Attorney John McCarthy said in court, according to the Washington Post. Then she began to choke him. Sanford and Avery stabbed little Norrell, then watched the demonic spirit float over to the other children. At one point, the spirit jumped inside Sanford, who was then attacked. After the grisly murders, the demon assassins reportedly washed the bodies of the dead children and wrapped them in blankets so that they would appear clean before God, McCarthy said. Taniya and Martello are hospitalized in critical condition, but expected to survive, according to the Sentinel. The families of both women were shocked to hear the news. They had never listened to the women talk about exorcisms or demons. Avery met Sanford at a Germantown church called Exorcism Ministries. With 2 other women, they formed the Demon Assassins group. Detectives are attempting to locate the other members of the group, but don't believe they are a threat. The pastor of Exorcism Ministries told police that the women hadn't spoken to him about attempting to perform an exorcism. The pair stopped worshiping at the church about 2 months ago. District Judge Gary G. Everingam ordered a psychiatric evaluation for Avery. McCarthy said that Avery had been committed to a mental health facility in the past. It appears as if Sanford has also struggled with mental health issues. She reportedly tried to commit suicide twice. Sanford's mental health evaluation has been postponed until a defense attorney has claimed her case. Monifa has always been a very meek, very mild, very obedient person, lawyer Dana Jones Oliver told the Washington Post. Jones Oliver is considering representing Sanford. She's always been known as a very nurturing, affectionate caregiver, so this is shocking. It shocks the conscience, captured Marcus Jones, chief of Montgomery's major crimes. Division said it was difficult to tell if Avery felt sorry about what happened to her kids. She just thought there were evil spirits within the kids, Jones told the Sentinel. Silence blanketed a Montgomery County District courtroom Tuesday as prosecutors vividly described an attempted exorcism that left 2 toddlers dead and their 2 older siblings critically injured. The children's mother, Zakieya Avery, 28, and Avery's close friend, Monifa Sanford, 21, are facing 2 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of first-degree attempted murder. Around 9:30 a.m. Friday, police arrived at the horrifyingly bizarre and heartbreaking crime scene in the 19,000 block of Cherry Bend Drive in Germantown. Inside the modest 2-story townhome, officers located the lifeless bodies of 1-year-old Norrell Harris and his 2-year-old sister, Zyana Harris. Both were lying in their mother's bed. 5-year-old Taniya Harris was barely clinging to life in an adjacent bedroom, curled in the fetal position with multiple stab wounds. As police entered the house, Zakieya Avery was coming down the stairs with her oldest son when Avery fled out the back door, Montgomery County State's Attorney John McCarthy said while addressing the court. Members of Exorcism Ministries, a small Christian congregation that worships at a Germantown elementary school, Avery and Sanford told investigators they'd recently created a sidecar clan called the Demon Assassins. The 4-member group maintained a rank and order, with Avery positioned as commander and Sanford sergeant. According to comments made in court, Avery and Sanford had scheduled an in-home exorcism Thursday evening for a group member named Troy. The only problem was that Troy never arrived for his appointment. Then, around 5 a.m. Friday, both women reportedly became convinced a demonic spirit had invaded the souls of all 4 children, turning their young eyes dark black. It began with an attempt to break the neck of the youngest child. It proceeded into strangulation and ultimately graduated into stabbing, McCarthy said. Despite deeply penetrating stab wounds, 3 of the 4 children weren't covered in blood when officers arrived, but instead wrapped in wet blankets. The women, after the attack, showered together to wash the blood off themselves, cleaned up the crime scene, and then prepared the children to see God. McCarthy added, it was to be an everlasting life in heaven. In court, the prosecution disclosed Avery's record of involuntary commitments for psychiatric delusions and Sanford's history of suicide attempts. Consequently, Judge Gary Everngam ordered jailers to transfer both women to the Clifton T. Perkins Hospital Center, a maximum security psychiatric facility located in Jessup. There, the church friends turned accused criminals will undergo extensive mental health testing to see if either is equipped to stand trial. We believe that she knew she did something wrong. However, neither woman appears outwardly remorseful for what they did, Montgomery County Police Department Captain Marcus Jones remarked. Captain Jones, who spent hours combing through the unparalleled crime scene, says despite Hollywood's portrayal of exorcisms and witchcraft, Avery's townhome was remarkably normal. There were no candles, documents, or literature, nothing indicating a ritual had been held, Captain Jones added. As of Tuesday afternoon, Avery had enlisted District Public Defender Brian Shefferman, while Sanford's family had hired private defense, attorneys Edward Layden and Dana Jones Oliver. She's always been known as a very nurturing, affectionate caregiver, so this is shocking, Jones Oliver remarked. It shocks the consciousness of people watching television or reading the newspaper and her Sanford's family. Police say Sanford, who was enrolled at Montgomery College, met Avery about 8 months ago. Despite the brutal nature of their alleged crimes, both women spoke quietly and maintained meek outer appearances during their bond hearings Tuesday. The close friends will remain behind bars without bond, pending their psychiatric evaluations. Martello Harris, 8, and Taniya Harris, 5, continue to recover from their critical stab wounds. Martello, police say, could be released from an area hospital later this week. It's just an unbelievable story that I hope I never have to witness again in my career, or anybody else for that matter, Captain Jones concluded, a worried neighbor, of 2 toddlers allegedly murdered by their mother in an exorcism ritual, called police the night before they were killed to report a child had been left in a car for 45 minutes. 1-year-old Norrell Harris and his 2-year-old sister, Zyana, were found dead in their beds at their home in Germantown, Maryland, on Friday morning. Their mother, Zakieya Avery, 28, and another woman, Monifa Sanford, 21, who had been staying with the family, have been charged with their murder and the attempted murder of their older brother and sister. Yesterday, Montgomery County Police released recordings of 2 911 calls from concerned neighbors, one on Thursday night and the second on Friday morning. In the first call on Thursday at around 10:15 p.m., the neighbor is heard saying, "I have a baby in the car that's been here for 45 minutes. He then tells the receptionist that 2 women are coming after him. He is then heard saying, "Back up off me, ma'am. That is my business. A kid in the car for an hour is my business." The caller later claims that the woman was talking to herself. Police said they did respond to that first call, but when they arrived at the address, the women and the children were already inside, and they did not pursue the matter. They said they had reported the incident to Child Protective Services, which was due to call round on Friday morning. The second 911 call was received at 9:23 a.m. on Friday. A different neighbor reported hearing noises the previous night and then finding a knife with blood on it inside a parked car. The caller says, "In the car outside, there is a knife with blood. The vehicle has the door open. The house has windows open. I heard loud noises at night and I just woke up. I heard like jumping. I didn't know. They have 4 children, so I don't know if they do that daily. So I didn't know. I just didn't think anything. I took my kids to school and I saw the knife with blood outside. I saw the car with the door open and I saw the windows open. I don't know if something happened there. The knife is still there." Tragically, later that morning, police discovered the 2 youngsters dead and their 5-year-old and 8-year-old siblings suffering from stab wounds. Their mother, Zakieya Avery, 28, faces 2 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder. According to Montgomery County Police Captain Marcus Jones, Avery told detectives she thought the devil was in the kids. That's sort of the thing she centered it around as to why she had to conduct an exorcism. He said, "She just thought that there were evil spirits within the kids." Avery was arrested, when authorities say she tried to flee from a townhouse near the vehicle. Police found the 2 children dead inside the home, and their siblings and Sanford were taken to the hospital with injuries. Police said Sanford was arrested Saturday after being released from the hospital. The tragedy unfolded at around 9:30 a.m. Friday, when police officers responded to a home in the 1900 block of Cherry Bend Drive, where they came upon a very bloody scene involving 6 people, 4 of them children under the age of 10. The 2 youngest children were pronounced dead. At the scene, yesterday, the children's grandmother, Ida Johnson, 90, told of her shock, describing the 2 young victims as the sweetest things. She said, "I will cherish those memories forever," she told Mail Online. Their lives were cut short, and they had no say-so whatsoever. It doesn't make sense. Mrs. Johnson said the children's father, her grandson, Martin Luther Harris, Jr., has traveled to the Children's National Medical Center in Washington, D.C., to be with his surviving son and daughter, who were both listed in stable condition Sunday. Johnson said she didn't know if Avery had a history of violence or when the woman's relationship with Harris deteriorated. "I don't know what was going on between the family. All I know is they were sweet kids," she said. The great-grandmother added, "It's heartbreaking. Something should be done about who did it, but at the same time, it won't bring the children back. I just hope they get what they deserve." Avery's step-grandmother, Sylvia Wade, told the Washington Post that Avery was humble and meek and said she loved her children. "I don't know what triggered it," she said. "She wasn't herself. When people are not of themselves, they are not responsible for what they do. They are in another zone. The other woman charged in the killings, Monifa Sanford, 21, made similar statements about evil spirits during questioning, police said. The two women had been living together at the house in recent months. Jones said the women are believed to have met at a church in Germantown, which he identified as Exousia Ministries. The pastor of that congregation, Darrell Jones, declined to discuss the case after services at an elementary school Sunday, or even confirm that the women worshipped there. This is a tragic situation. We're keeping the family in our prayers and respecting the family's privacy, he said. Both women were being held without bond on charges of first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder and are not expected to appear in court until Tuesday afternoon. Court records do not list lawyers for the women. Martin Harris, Jr., relocated to Los Angeles after he separated from Avery. His mother, Alonda Lord, changed her Facebook profile to a picture of the 4 children Saturday. Cases like this are heartbreaking, said Montgomery County Police Chief Tom Manger. Our thoughts are with the family and friends of the victims along with the 911 operators, police officers, evidence technicians, and fire and EMS personnel that responded, according to the station WSA 9. According to her Facebook page, Avery lives with her family in Gaithersburg, Maryland, and works as a pharmacy technician. Most recently, on January 2nd, she wished her family a Happy New Year. In mid-November, the 28-year-old indicated that she was in a new relationship. In one 911 call placed outside the Germantown home on Thursday night, a man reported a baby found unattended in a car. Soon after, the man tells the operator that 2 women have come out for the child and are attacking him. Monifa Sanford and Zakieya Avery are charged with killing 2 of Avery's children. Montgomery County Police have released 911 calls related to the deaths of 2 children in Maryland. Deaths police attributed to 2 women who believed they were performing an exorcism. The release of the recordings Monday comes 2 days after police charged Monifa Sanford and Zakieya Avery with killing 2 of Avery's children, ages 1 and 2. The women are also facing attempted murder charges for injuring the children's siblings, ages 5 and 8. Police had said previously that they were called Thursday to the Germantown home where the women lived after a 911 caller reported a child unattended in a vehicle. When the police arrived, the child was no longer in the car, and no one had answered the door at a nearby home. Police returned Friday when a neighbor called 911 after noticing a car with the door open and a knife that appeared to have blood on it. That's when the children were found dead inside a nearby home. Police said they suffered multiple stab wounds. In a 911 phone call from Thursday at about 10:15 p.m., a male caller reports a baby being left unattended in a blue Toyota Corolla. While the man is talking to the operator, he reports that 2 women have come out for the child and are attacking the caller and walking after him. He can be heard telling someone, "You need to back up off me, ma'am," and "A baby in the car for an hour is my business." He later tells the 911 operator that one of the women is talking to herself. In a 911 call from 9:30 a.m. Friday, a female caller reports seeing a blue Toyota with a door open and a knife with blood on it. "I heard loud noises at night," says the neighbor woman. She adds that she heard what sounded like jumping and running, but didn't think anything of it because 4 children were living in the home. Avery, 28, told investigators that she thought an exorcism of her children was necessary to remove the presence of the devil and evil spirits, said Capt. Marcus Jones, director of the police department's Major Crimes Division. Sanford, 21, made similar statements during questioning, police said. A Maryland mother of 4 told police she thought the devil was in the kids after she allegedly stabbed to death her 1-year-old son and 2-year-old daughter and seriously injured her, 2 older children, during a disturbing exorcism. That's what she centered it around as to why she had to conduct an exorcism. She just thought that there were evil spirits within the kids. Montgomery County Police Captain Marcus Jones said Sunday night of Zakieya Avery, who has been charged with first-degree murder in the shocking slayings of her babies. Officers responded to Avery's Germantown home Friday morning, following a neighbor's 911 call, and found little Norrell Harris and his 2-year-old sister Zyana Harris dead in a disturbing, blood-splattered crime scene. 2 other siblings, 5-year-old Taniya Harris and 8-year-old Martello Harris, were found injured with stabbing wounds. The surviving children remained in hospital Sunday and are listed in stable condition. Avery's step-grandmother, Sylvia Wade, told the Washington Post that Avery was humble and meek and said she loved her children. "I don't know what triggered it," she said. "She wasn't herself. When people are not of themselves, they are not responsible for what they do. They are in another zone." Another woman charged in the killings, Monifa Sanford, 21, made similar statements about evil spirits. During questioning, police said, Sanford was arrested on Saturday. The 2 women had been living together at the house in recent months. Jones said the women are believed to have met at a church in Germantown, which he identified as Exorcism Ministries. The pastor of that congregation, Darrell Jones, declined to discuss the case after services at an elementary school Sunday, or even confirmed that the women worshipped there. "This is a tragic situation. We're keeping the family in our prayers and respecting the family's privacy," he said. Both women were being held without bond on charges of first-degree murder and attempted first-degree murder and are not expected to appear in court until Tuesday afternoon. Court records do not list lawyers for the women. The father of the children, Martin Luther Harris, Jr., relocated to Los Angeles after he separated from Avery. Jones said he was returning to be with the surviving children. Offices were called to the Germantown home where the women lived on Friday. A neighbor called 911 after noticing a vehicle with the door open and a bloody knife lying outside of the car. Avery was arrested when authorities say she tried to flee from a townhouse near the vehicle. Police found the 2 children dead inside. The home and their siblings and Sanford were taken to the hospital with injuries. Police say Sanford was arrested Saturday after being released from the hospital. The tragedy unfolded at around 9:30 a.m. Friday when police officers responded to a home in the 1900 block of Cherry Bend Drive, where they came upon a very bloody scene involving 6 people, 4 of them children under the age of 10. 1-year-old Norrell and 2-year-old Zyana were pronounced dead at the scene. Their siblings were rushed to a hospital to be treated for multiple stab wounds. NBC Washington reported that the children were found in the bedrooms and may have been stabbed in their sleep. The 2 surviving victims of the attack were treated at Children's National Medical Center. "Cases like this are heartbreaking," said Montgomery County Police Chief Tom Manger. "Our thoughts are with the family and friends of the victims, along with the 911 operators, police officers, evidence technicians, and fire and EMS personnel that responded," according to the station WSA-9. According to her Facebook page, Avery lives with her family in Gaithersburg, Maryland, and works as a pharmacy technician. Most recently, on January 2nd, she wished her family a Happy New Year. In mid-November, the 28-year-old indicated that she was in a new relationship. Avery's 4 children, including the 2 deceased toddlers, were fathered by her ex-boyfriend Harris, 30, a Philadelphia native who currently lives in Los Angeles.